Ready? Breathe in. Go. Stop. That's it. 5, 6, 7, 8. Change arm. 6, 7, 8. Stay there. Right leg to the back. Right. Muscle. Leg up. Punch, punch. Leg up. Punch, punch.
It was myself and the principal that came up with this about 7 years ago. We had about 30 boys scattered throughout the program, and we thought that it would be a good idea to encourage more boys to dance if we created a boys' dance class. And in doing that, we were able to focus on the maleness of dance. As well, in the girls' class, I could let go of being worried about the boys all the time and focus on the femaleness of dance as well. Because when we first started, it was mostly inner city kids, and we focused a lot on hip hop, so it was strong and masculine, so the boys were attracted to it.
First, about a year ago, I started breakdancing, and then I really liked it, so I wanted to develop different styles that I could incorporate into my breakdancing. So I went to an art school. I also came here for drama, but dance is also one of my main things. So now that I'm here and I've learned different styles, I can put it into my breakdancing and have my own kind of style.
You're on stage, you look perfect, you look wonderful, okay, on stage. I want you to do something on your own. I want my first 8, my part, which is run and run and run and run and pivot turn, 7, 8. The step, clap you can do, I don't want to see that. I want something from your. You can do a roll, you can do a jump, you can do a turn, you can do moonwalk, but I want you to think about you have only 1 8, and then you have got to move on, otherwise people will step on you. Okay, you can do a flip, but make sure don't crush the person right beside you.
I did place our male dance teacher into the male dance program because I thought it would be interesting to see, and for them to have a male role model. I think that's wonderful. It's unique, I think, in the public school system to have a male dance teacher. So we were lucky, and I placed Mr. Lee into that position, and it was great.
Many boys at the beginning didn't like dance at all. They were very reluctant to try it. They were there because their friends dragged there, or they wanted to give it a try. And that's it. Maybe after a few days, they drop out or they choose another course.
Honestly, I took this course, well, my mom made me take the course, but I actually really, I was pretty against it at first, but I actually really enjoy it now.
Yeah, my mom made me take it too, and I don't know, I'm not really an active person, I'm not really into gym, so I just thought maybe dance would be different, and it definitely was.
I came to this school mainly for music, and I took dance on the side. My teacher just kind of thought I had talent, so he put me into the more advanced dance program after a little while, and I just was kind of exposed to this whole different side of dance.
But many boys, I would say, actually, if I remember right, it was 100% actually they stayed. They stayed to continue. It was tough. I challenged them a lot physically, mentally, and the stuff they were doing was hard as well. You have to think about what you're doing now, especially when you finish 1 normal. I want to see 1 my version. I want to see 1 your version, which is my first 8 and your second 8. You don't have to clap. You can do anything. You can do a jump. You can do a roll. But I don't want you to stop. Oh, what do? That's the worst thing. You just move, and do a jump and turn. Come up and ready for the run, and don't be late. Questions? Yes.
So we have 8 counts after the pivot to improvise?
Yes.
Okay. And then
Correct.
we start again?
And then you go on. Then you run off.
Okay.
And 5, 6, 5, 6. Ready? Go. 5, 6, 7. I give them the full combination. I did twice. The first 8 is my movement. You're still running across the floor. And the second 8, you're actually moving into your own person. I want to see your artistic expression, who you are. I don't want to see my name there anymore because my movement is gone. I want to see how you move. And I did see it because boys were moving differently. Go! Go on! 5, 6, 7, go! Wow, excellent! Some of them were moving like Michael Jackson steps. Some of them were rolling on the floor. Some of them were jumping there. They became who they are, and that's really important. And that's the purpose of creative exercise. We want to see who they are and get their talents, get their inspirations out of their own body, rather than just teacher-centered. We want to be student-centered as well.
When we start composing, even though I struggle with it, I know I learn more in those composition classes and just sort of figure out the steps between, first it's, I have no idea how to use my body, and then it moves into, I've learned how to use this a bit more, I can maneuver it, and to like, now I have to do something with it that's my own choice, and it's really exciting.
Try to think of ways your body moves that's different. Good. Try to incorporate different levels. I see a lot of you are just at a regular level in space, just medium level. Try to use the floor, reach up into space. Good. The curriculum says that you need to include creation, analysis, and theory, and in our boys' class we do all 3. When we're doing technique in the boys' class, I tend to focus on moving with more strength. I talk to them about being masculine yet graceful at the same time, because as a dancer you need to be strong and powerful, but at the same time, even though you're a male, you still need to show that graceful side. It's sort of a balance between the two. To make them more of a dance-focused fitness program. So it was very interesting to see how they changed their programs that they were doing, and I've seen a difference in their dancing for those of them that actually continued on. You could tell in their dancing, they developed their quads, they have stronger jumps, their calves, their arms. It was just amazing what they can do, and they put their mind to it.
They're a lot physically involved, they're exercising, and they're happy, and they're looking forward to coming to school, and that's really the key for them to get engaged.
Well, I think that all boys, we all have like the physical strength to do really good in this class, but it's how much effort and passion you put into it. Because we can all do a jump, but it's the way you do a jump or the way you do a move, It's easy to learn something, but you have to add your own experience and your own style into it.
You see a lot of the kids develop their personality in class, and many of them have become leaders, and a lot of them are followers, but some are both. And it's interesting to see where they find their place within the class. And a lot of times it's different from the outside world and what they're doing in here, but they feel more confident in here and they're able to initiate a lot more. Good. And at any moment while the leader is moving, they may choose to change direction. And if they do change direction, the person at the front of the clump in the other facing would take the motion and continue it.
The boys' dance class, it's like a brotherhood. It's just a big family. That's really the best way to be introduced to dance. When I took my first dance class with a bunch of girls, I was terrified. It's just a great, sort of way to be introduced to dance in such a safe, non-judgmental environment. We're all family and we all understand each other. And it's really great to be in a room with people that are so much alike. It's instead of being in a room with a whole bunch of academics, you're in a room with a whole bunch of dancers. It's a lot better.
I found that I have a lot more in me than what I thought I had. It gave me a lot of confidence. Before that, at the beginning of the year in dance, I was so afraid to go off from those 3 lineups and just start dancing. I was completely worried that people would start insulting me or take it as I was a bad dancer, but it's just changed so much. I just run out of that 3-line set and dance, and that's influenced everything.
That's really intimidating because he was one of the best ones at the beginning of the year. I was like, whoa, you must have taken classes before or something.
Me?
Yeah.
I was a failure.
No, you were great. It's just, yeah.
I've noticed from when the boys came into the classroom from the beginning of the year until now that they had a lot of cliques when they came in. You know, they were all sitting with their specific little crew. And then with these composition activities, you know, you really mix them up and blend them in, and they started interacting more with other students. So I noticed a lot that they've become more accepting of each other, and that they tend to not just gravitate to their friends, but they try to work with different people.
I've seen males become more open to different types of males because they have been working together over a year. I've seen an openness, I've seen more teamwork, I've seen men go farther in dance, even if after high school, than most of our females.
They've learned a lot about each other culturally and socially because of the fact that they get to work in different groups and explore different ways of moving together. So they get to give each other input and things like that.
It's a team atmosphere. It's like a sporting team. They really have a bond, and it's a maleness. So I think even through dance, because maybe they're not into sports, but maybe they're into arts, and so it's another way of building that team, that camaraderie. They really egg each other on, positively and negatively, but in the end, they're just so proud of themselves for dancing, and that's unique, I think.
The curriculum is great because it's very open, but it's general. The technique is just a starting point. I really want them to learn through dancing, through technique, through everyday training to get like self-discipline, to get that self-esteem, to be more confident, to stand in front of people. Maybe they will help them for the English presentation. Maybe they will help them for social studies. But it's the skill that beyond dance that it matters most or matters more than just dance technique. So that's what our approach is.
We are assessing them all the time. We're always giving them verbal corrections, verbal feedback, guiding them towards a better way to do things or a safer way to do things.
We do a lot of self and peer evaluations where they get to reflect a lot on their own abilities as well as their peers. That's very important, I feel, because they need to understand where they're coming from, not just get the feedback from a teacher, but also from their friends, and actually sit down and think about, what do I need to improve on? What did I do well on?
So we evaluate them at the beginning of the year on their level of technique, and we place them properly. It's a safety issue. We want to make sure that kids don't get hurt by attempting things that are too hard for them. Assessing them, we do self-evaluation, peer evaluations. We assess their technical skills, their writing skills, their thinking skills, their communication, their presentation skills. We're always encouraging them every single day to work on those skills so they know that we're always watching. And then we have overall marks that we give for each of the areas. And then, formal assessments and evaluations at the end of having a month of trying it out.
Then later on, we also do assignments. So we have written assignments where they get, they'll be marked on their inquiry skills, communication skills, application skills of the knowledge that they've learned through the theory.
Our ultimate goal for them is to become a confident person through dance, and also have a lot of self-esteem. So to learn skills that they can apply to other areas like English, math, and the social skills than in other areas, to make them a successful participant in the society.